Okay, guys, Chris back with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures, and I did a whole walkthrough and fish room tour and update and everything. I didn't get in here and show you guys the guppy tank. You can see all the babies and all the guppies in there. Now, with all the females I got in here and all the babies I got going on, I mean all the guppies I got going on, you would think I'd have more babies, but I think. The mollies do a good job of keeping the population under control. This tank, it hasn't been messed with a lot. I haven't done much with anything of this tank. It's just been sitting here. It's a great tank because there's so many damn plants in there. But I think the population control is important on the guppies. Because you don't want too many. There's another fish in there that I'm noticing that it doesn't look like a guppy. It looks like it might be a molly baby. I don't know. I can't tell. But this is what I don't really care about. Like people say, you can't mix them. I don't really care. This tank, I'm not breeding them to breed, so I'm just leaving them in there for them to have a good life and let them have fun and have babies or whatever. I really don't care. But if I was going to breed, I'd probably take a female out of here, a male, and just breed them downstairs, which I'm probably going to do here eventually once I get things set up and situated and figured out what I'm going to do. Like I said, like these guys here look like, I don't think they're guppies. I don't think that one there's a guppy. I think that one might be a molly. I don't know. But I think the mollies, I think they're both females though. They're both layer tail mollies. I don't know if one's a female, one's a male. Didn't notice them being pregnant, so I don't know. Maybe the one's a male and they breeded with the guppy. I'm not really sure. So I mean, like I said, I'm not here to sell any of these fish anyway. So, but I'm actually curious to see what these guys are gonna turn out to be. There might be guppies. I don't know, but they got a different like they look different. Like this guy right here. You can tell he's got a little bit of a different body style than the other ones. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, this is the tank that we have in our living room. I haven't touched it. Like I said, I haven't done much of anything. You can see the plants are growing like crazy in there. And we just like the way it looks, But like I said, I haven't really got myself into the process of breeding, so I haven't really done much of anything with that, honestly. But you can see this is what they call a muck guppy, muck guppy tank. All these guppies in here are bred from within. So you could say inbred. Yeah. I haven't really done much. I haven't moved any guys. I haven't touched this tank. There are some, if you look closer, there's some endlers in there. So I really haven't, like I said, I haven't moved anybody out. But this is like one of the funnest tanks I have. I just come down here and watch them just go crazy when they eat, and all these babies are going to grow up pretty big. But this is what you call, if you ever want to describe an ecosystem, this is an ecosystem. The reason being is this is a tank with plants, and I got snails in here. I got bottom feeders. I got plecos. I got all kinds of different. Oh, and the algae eater, of course. But I got all kinds of different things in here to take care of an ecosystem. Pretty much an ecosystem. So you don't see a lot of fish die out of here. I did have a couple of losses when I first moved here, but that was because we moved this whole tank without taking any. We didn't take any fish out. We just moved the whole tank together. So I think that's where the issue was. But I did lose about 7 to 8 guppies out of here. So I wanted to obviously get more guppies and grow it and get more fish in here, but that process is pretty much all up to them. So some people say, well, that's not good to do. We can't really, you shouldn't really inbreed, but like I said, I just I haven't touched this tank. I haven't done anything. I just kept it the way it is. And the fish are happy. And it just looks like a good tank. I wish every one of my tanks can grow plants like that. Now, in this tank, we do use the blasting sand. I had one of the other YouTubers try to use this stuff, and it didn't work out for them because they probably used the fine one. You have to use the medium abrasive. You cannot use the one that's like almost like milk or like like a dust, because that will not work. But we also added sand to this, and there is substrate in here. So I didn't put substrate in the Guppy tank. I did have old gravel, but that's different. This is like real plant substrate. And I also use Easy Green. So the plants do really well, and like I said, the fish are happy, and we just got a bunch of babies, and like I said, everybody's living like an old happy couple or happy family. So there's 2 mollies in here. That's all we got in there. I would love to do a molly tank, but I'm thinking that I have to do another brackish tank or close to brackish. I put this tank is a very high pH because of the guppies. That's why they breed so much. But the mollies love the high pH. And there's also in this tank somewhere, I don't think you can see him, but there is a bumblebee goby in here that's been in there for about, I don't know, like 3 years. It was kind of an impulse buy. They're on sale. They're really cheap. I think they're like 3 for $8 or 2 for $8 or something. So in my local fish store, so I picked them up. But I don't see him in there right now. He's probably hiding somewhere. But he usually comes out when there's food. But yeah, bumblebee goby. People say they're brackish. I've it all matters, or actually, it's all about how much minerals you have in your water. This tank is high mineral content, so it's almost like the water's brackish, but it's not brackish. It's very, very high in minerals. So he does good in here. So the other one died. I don't know what happened to him. There was 2 in there. I don't know where he went to, or if he died or not. I have no idea. But I know there's only 1 left. But yeah, this is the living room tank. We haven't done anything to it. It just looks like it's just a regular guppy tank. If you guys ever want to have guppies, always remember that keep the water, the minerals high. Use your Easy Green in the water, and let the plants eat the nitrates. But the guppies will do so great if you keep your GH high and your pH high in your tanks. They'll breed for you. The only reason why I got the guppies in there the mollies in there is because they like the same water, and they do population control. They will eat the babies when they're very small. If you don't want population control, then take the bigger fish out of there and let them have babies. But if I didn't take those fish out of there, like the Siamese alligator and the mollies, I think there will be a bunch more fish in there, and then you're overloaded with your bioload. But this tank has 2 filters running. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 filters. I like to keep the bioload high because of the babies. You look back there. There's one in. They call it an in-water filter, and then that one's hang on back, and then there's a sponge filter down there that I use. But I like to keep all my tanks filtrated. But this, you try to keep, when you can't really control the population, or the population can be high. You always want to overfilter and have enough bioload in there so they can handle the babies and handle whatever fish you're putting in there. And there's also cories in there too. There's about 4 or 5 cories in there. They swim around. And here's bumblebee goby right there. He's right there. You see him? Isn't he beautiful? I love that fish. And nobody messes with him. But he's just a cool guy, man. Like, he's one of my favorite fish. I like to have a whole tank full of them. But like I said, people say, well, you got to put them in brackish water. Well, not really. I mean, I do have a brackish tank downstairs where the leopard puffers are, but I wouldn't dare put him in with the leopard puffers. I just don't trust the fact that they won't even though the leopard puffers have never had any live food, with the exception of like some snails, and I did feed him some shrimp one time, but that's pretty much it. Anyway, that's the update in this tank. I'm gonna put some water in there to fill the top. The guppies are doing great. Everyone looks healthy, and we're down to 2 mollies. There was 4 at one time in here, but I think the next time I do a guppy tank, I may do a molly tank downstairs with swordtails. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something with that 30-gallon once I get rid of the jaguars. But the mollies are maybe something I will do. But you can see they're very healthy. They're looking good. But I know with my experience with mollies, you have to keep the water a little hard. It just helps. You can see that Siamese algae eater. He's getting kind of feisty in there, but he doesn't really bother anybody. He just wants the space. I don't see him nipping. I don't see him nipping any tails. There's a couple of guppies that do have some tails, but that's from breeding. I don't think the Siamese algae is doing that. But the Siamese algae he eats all the algae in there, and he does a great job of cleaning up any kind of algae. I might move him to another tank and clean up one of the other tanks, the 40-gallon that has some hair algae in it. I have a flying fox in one of the tanks that hasn't done anything to the tank. It just left the damn hair algae there. So I might want to move him, but I also don't want to lose, how clean this tank is. There's no algae anywhere in here, so I really don't want to move anybody around. If I like to keep tanks the same, if I possibly can, as long as I can, just because it just I don't like to make a lot of changes. Let's put it that way. I'm trying to feed these guys and hold the camera at the same time, but let me get some food here. Put some food in here. I'm down to the end of this Tetra bottle, but I'm gonna get them a little food, and you can see they go nuts. And I also feed them the first bites. I got that on top of this tank. The babies down there are sickless, so they eat. I give them a little bit something bigger, but anyway, that's what we got for today. This is the second part. I didn't have any. I didn't add this to the other video because I went about 20 minutes in the other video. I wanted to update you guys, but this video will be straightly on the guppy tank, and I don't have any plans for this tank, guys, except for maybe move the mollies out of there. I don't know. I really don't have a lot of plans. I like the way this tank runs. It's clean. I don't have to do many water changes because of all the plants in there. I also got a bamboo that sucks up some nitrates in there. So I don't really do a lot of water changes in this tank because the water is also hard. I will do like maybe a 10%, 50% if I have to, if I notice some of the fish struggling. But the way these fish are, they're doing perfectly fine, so I'm not going to touch the damn tank. Anyway, that's it for today. If you can't own them, rehome them, remember. And that's a wrap. We'll see you next time, guys. And I haven't been saying this. If you're going to subscribe, hit the notification button so we can give you a notification whenever I put a new video out. Hit the like button and recommend us to your friends. I mean, I think we're up to 180 something subscribers. We'd like to get to 1,000 eventually, and get to 200 first. But yeah, once I start getting more stuff in motion, and if I do other types of ponds, I'll be filming that too. So we'll be making more videos, and hopefully we'll get some more subscribers. But for now, that's all we got, and I'm out, guys.